Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another weekly Cruising Radio 102.8 live stream broadcast. This is a special Sunday broadcast for us. Probably we hadn't broadcast on a Sunday in probably over a year and a half. So, again, we're about to set history because I'm going to tell you a little backstory about this gentleman that you're going to be hearing from in just a few minutes. As you see that at the introduction, that we're going to be talking to the Saint. I am Cruz, your host, and I would like to thank our sponsors for your generosity and your support of Cruising Global Media and Marketing, as well as Cruising Radio 102.8. Our purpose always is to be insightful, informative, and intuitive. And let me just drop some information about our guest here. The Saint is an independent writer, producer, musician that has been self-producing music and honing his craft for more than 28 years. He is an award-winning illustrious artist who is not only creates by his hands, but by his mind as well. The Saint creates and produces music for just about any genre, more focused towards smooth jazz, adult contemporary R&B, and he released his first recording project to the public the end of 2012, and that release was entitled Love Confessions, and since then he has had 10 albums released nonstop. The Saints' latest and 11th CD project is entitled This Is Us, which was released on September the 24th. And John, congratulations, man. You have been absolutely busy, my brother.
Well, thank you very much. I have been a little busy because, love is a busy thing. And when you want to convert it to music, you got to keep up with it because the world needs love.
Absolutely. John, we go back, man. I think it was like 2012 when we first met. So we're almost in year 8 now. And again, I just met you through Iris Bolden, and you were producing music for doing the score for the Hard series, man. And we've been locked in and loaded ever since.
Yeah, man. Who knew? And who knew you'd be my first interview back then, huh?
Absolutely. And today we're making history because this is the first Sunday ever that we've done the live stream like this. So you are breaking new grounds with us today.
Well, I feel blessed. Thank you, Cruz. Thank you.
Well, again, we appreciate it, man. When it comes to, 11 CDs in over 28 years. Again, that's a lot of music, John. Let me kind of break it down a little bit and help my viewers understand. On average, how many tracks are on a CD?
On average, I try to stay around 12 to 15. And I try to stay more than the months in the year because I feel each month carries a story within inside of my life. And each month, brings out something in reference to the feeling, and especially seasons and everything. And so I keep it 12 and over. If I'm doing over 12, that means it was a busy year. I've been feeling a lot during that year.
Right. Not only are you composing music, but you're also performing during these times. Now, I know COVID has kind of changed the complexion. We're in a different state and time now. So have you been able to do any live performances at all?
Unfortunately, I am in the same boat most artists is, and probably a little bit more, seeing that I'm sort of that mid-level independent artist. And it's been mostly keeping the name out there, keeping the brand out there. My manager's been doing well in doing that. And I've just been trying to keep the music up and create the music during these troubling times. And the past year is the culmination of creating this album.
How long does it take? And let me stop right now because we want to give a shout out to Iris Bolden, who is watching. Hey, Iris.
Hey Iris, how you doing? She's always watching. I
Yeah,
look over my back everywhere I go inside each room, every state I go to. I feel like Iris is watching. It's a good thing.
yeah, she had to keep her proteges in line. I'm right there with you, trying, trying to make sure we're upholding the standard and everything.
Hmm.
Um, Going back, I was about to ask in terms of a single project, about how long does it take to complete that project? Again, on average.
On average, for me, it was averaging maybe 8 to 10 months. That's how I was pushing them out before, and then I started thinking. My wife started thinking. My manager started thinking that let's slow it down. Let's gather more feelings within inside of what you're feeling during a span of time. So I pushed that up to a year, and then this album was a year and a half because I felt the pandemic, the social breakout, the riots and everything brought out so many feelings within inside of me that I just felt like it was not the right time to release it during
Hmm.
the peak of everything that was happening. And I felt that, and my manager felt that we should wait until people relax a little, get out, and start to feel a little more better about themselves. And that'd be the best time to release the album, and which I think we did a great job at.
Now, you guys, speaking of the pandemic and at the height of everything, you all were kind of like in the Mecca because you're up in that New York area. Is that correct?
We're in the mountains near New York, and we feel it because a lot of people from New York like to come up to the mountains of the Poconos and see family. So we were
Hmm.
kind of concerned during that because you have the transportation of people back and forth from Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and New York, and it was touch and go. It definitely was.
Now, I've seen some photos and things when you're up in the mountains, man. It has to be so relaxing to be able to write in that atmosphere. And I always call the mountains God's country.
Mm-hmm.
Um, do you get a lot of your inspiration from going out and just being one with nature?
We have our times, yes. If you listen to some of my songs that sound like it's totally off of that contemporary jazz and R&B side, it's from when I just go take a drive, when I just get away and be to myself and try to get one, like you said, with nature, and try to get one with the more sensitive side of myself to bring out more sensitive music that may relate to more people that's going through the same things that I may be going through.
Mhm. Now we see music, of course. Technology is coming in and playing a big part. Do you think, in terms of playing instruments, because not only do you compose, you're a musician. And what are some of the instruments, first of all, that you play, John?
Well, my main instrument is my piano. I have one main one. It's not off topic, but it's on topic and off topic. I have one piano is my go-to. It's a piano I bought that I call Mother Pearl, and it was
Okay.
from when my mother passed away, and I decided to just go buy one at that time and dedicate an album to her and call that piano Mother Pearl, and that album turned out to be around the time of All About Love, and I felt good about it. It was the right thing to do. But
And it's
I also play guitar. I play a little bass, picking up on sax, but my main thing is piano.
It seems that all musicians, because my brother plays in a band, and you guys have like
Mhm.
BB King. He had Lucille, which was
Mhm.
his favorite guitar. Is that something that it makes it a little bit more personable
Yes,
when you name your instruments?
definitely, definitely. 'Cause it's almost like a Christian. It's almost like a christening of both. You get that one-on-one connection with it, especially if you knew someone at that time that really touched your heart, or someone that passed away, and you was starting to create music that was really emotional, you have an attachment with it, and then you just call it that one particular thing. Like B.B. King called it Lucille for a reason. Mother Pearl is because my mother was everything to me, and she was a pearl of my heart.
Man, that's beautiful. Take us back to when you first fell in love with playing instruments, John. About what age were you, and was it something that started in middle school, or was it long before middle school?
Well, it first started off with dancing, and dancing. I think I told you this before. Dancing for a family at get-togethers back in the '70s. They have their champagne. They be drinking. They tell all the kids to get together and dance for your uncles and aunts and your grandmother that's falling asleep in the corner. And we did all that. So it started with watching Jackson 5, but the music came around 1984 when I saw Prince Purple Rain.
Hmm.
And I really fell in love with the guitar at that time. I wanted to be a guitarist. Wasn't panning out as much as I wanted to, but the piano did. And that's when I started to pick up on smooth jazz, Chick Corea, George Duke, and all of that, and start loving smooth jazz and fusion. And that's where it started.
Keith Gilchrist got a comment here. It said John dancing with a question mark behind it. So I guess he's trying to say that he can't envision you dancing.
You can envision anything, especially when your mother and your father looking at you with a really dead eye. If you don't dance for your family right now, I have a belt that I just bought from Alexander's that have your name written all over it.
So certainly appreciate Keith Gilchrist, and he's somebody that's in the music industry as well, tuning in with us, and he want to know where Miss Pritchie at. I guess he gonna tell Miss Pritchie on you.
Keith, Miss Pritchie's doing her business. What are you doing right now, sir?
Man, you got to love musicians, and he sends back the love as well. So you started with what you going to do with the bass guitar, or were you lead? Now let me, because I can relate to this, because I was in we call it junior high back down south. I started with the alto sax, and man, I had this I had a nice glitter gold lead, man, and I couldn't play but one note on that thing.
Yeah, man. It starts out with one note, then it starts out sounding like something between Barry White and Boney James.
Exactly. So going from now, you did you play in high school and in the band and things like that?
No, no one thought I was cool enough back then. No one felt that had anything related to a rhythm back then. And let you know, that's what really started me with music. Because I was really hard-headed back then. When someone said I couldn't do this, couldn't do that, I had to show them I could if I put my mind to it. And then that's how how music really started. But me picking up an instrument is when I watched Purple Rain.
Man, that's phenomenal, because again, a lot of people become discouraged when somebody tells them that, oh well, you can't do this, you can't do this. So that right there is a testament within itself, John.
Yeah, I mean, I was really hard-headed. I would go inside music stores, and there used to be this battle between keyboardists and musicians that play the music in like Sam Ash or Guitar Center. And then I will come and I'll do something offbeat, aka fusion, smooth jazz. They like, what the hell is that? It's not rock, it's not hip hop, or anything like that. And they'll immediately tell me to turn it off. So that's how everything kept going. I had a hard head that I was not going to give up on music just because other people have their own distinct way of thinking what music is.
Absolutely, man. Who are some of the other than the Purple Rain, some other artists that inspire you and still inspire you?
Oof. Kenny G was the first person when I heard him sing this song "Can't Wait for Love" in the album Silhouette back then in the early '90s. Brian Culbertson right now is the man. I love to listen to him. I listen to a lot of Boney James, and I
Yeah.
just started picking up more on Kim. And there's one or two songs on my new album that sounds like it may be a little neo soul, and that's how you can tell I started listening to Kim. But I'm really out there. I listen to a lot of different type of music. And it's weird when you grow up in the '80s as a teenager. MTV was ruling everything. So we had the privilege of listening to different type of musics on radio that youth today don't really hear because they're so stuck on one form because music is not on TV no more. Everyone's on social media, out
Right.
and about, and not really opening their mind to different music.
Exactly. Now tell us about first of all the album
Hmm.
This Is Us, and then we're going to play a cut from it.
Hmm.
Jazz in the City is what we're going to play for the audience today. So tell
Hmm.
us about that album, John.
Okay, This Is Us is what the title says. Every single thing that we have gone through as a nation, as a people, as a couple, as family, broken apart, losing family, bringing it back together, mold it, and make it something new to go into the new year about. This is us. It's about me and my wife. It's about all that we've lost and all that we have gained back, mold it, and make it something great. And This Is Us is a collection of songs about different feelings of social unrest, of love, of what we love to do that makes us feel good. And put all that together. This is us. We just want to feel good now.
Well, here it is from the album This Is Us. This is a cut entitled Jazz in All right, man, that is like some smooth jazz infused with some funk and everything else. Kind of reminds me of the Earth, Wind, and Fire days.
Oh man, don't put me near there, man. It takes about 1,000 years to be like Earth, Wind, and Fire. How about I just be the a rock? a little gust of wind, and a little match. That's what I'll be.
And it's funny that you say that because on your website, and as long as I've known you, you don't like to pigeonhole your music. In fact, you really don't give it a label at all because it does across many genres. Was that deliberately done?
Yes. Not only from a business perspective, but from a feeling perspective. Like I mentioned before, back in the '80s, listening to music, we were open minded to listening to rock, hip hop, jazz, R&B, soul, and that's how I felt music. My music should be open for anybody to listen to for any time of the day.
Absolutely. Now, John, I was just sharing with your management and want to give a shout out to Miss Pritchie and Style Setters ET. I want to make sure, and I have your website going across here. Facebook and IG are about to do something that's going to change the game. During the pandemic, we saw everybody was able to go live, and a lot of artists, a lot of DJs were filling in those gaps and making people feel good. So come October the 24th, I think, well, I forgot, it's October. I think it's the first week in October. Facebook, and who owns IG, is saying you're no longer going to be able to stream music live to people. How will that impact artists like yourself?
I feel artists like myself, and I think every artist around that is dependent on their own, that they run their own management during these times until we can get back out there and perform. It really hurts the pocket. Yes, we have Spotify to dial, we have iTunes, but there's a connection that all those other platforms can't do that Facebook and Instagram can do.
Right.
Have an attachment with the person watching you. There's no watching and streaming. There's not knowing what I'm doing on a daily basis to make my music and how I want to share my word with you through streaming.
Exactly. It's like, they taking the craft out of it and trying
Yes.
to make it something that it isn't, and it's meant to be shared. Music is universal, and it is soothing, it is healing. And when you take away, especially at this time, and I thought that was just really asinine that they would do it at a time when we are at a state where we need healing. We got social unrest, we got racial things going on, we got the pandemic, and because this is my show and I can see it, we got a leader that I don't know where the hell he came from, but I'll be glad when November the 3rd is here. And let me put a little plug in. Make sure you guys go out and vote, okay? Your vote counts. Your vote is your voice. So I wanted to say that because this is, as Keith said, these are crazy times. Things are getting crazy here, John. And the music that you guys, man, bring us, again, helps to level set us.
It does. And at one point, I was struggling with the fact about how socially, how do I make my music to say what's happening now without hurting my fan base? But I need to think about hurting my people first before my fan base, because the people was here before my fan base.
Mm-hmm.
And if I don't come right, I'm not being tight. And I just needed to make sure that at least one song on there was going to preach that. And I had the song "Giving My All." I did a music video to it. It was on the live stream on my pre-release live stream, and it really meant a lot to me to make that, to say that, listen, I'm not being quiet myself neither. I love my people, I love my fan base, but I love my people also. We need to just wake up and see what the hell's going on.
Absolutely, man. That is powerful, and again, it reminds me of you when artists like Harry Belafonte and others were serious about making sure that not only that they related with their craft, but they used their craft to relate to the people to bring about change. So I want to thank you for your continuation of one, bringing us great music to help us relax, but also putting messages in your music.
Yes, it brings me back to the OJs. There's a message in our music, and that always kept what that song always kept stayed with me. There has to be a message in the music to be accepted, to stay around longer inside your mind and your heart, and to bring you back during the time when you first heard it. And that's why certain songs on my album will continuously always be about the times and about how we're feeling as couples, families, as a nation.
Absolutely. What would you say to the younger generation of artists in terms of staying true to the music?
Get get out of the one lane and be brave enough to go inside, a major U.S. highway, which means mix yourself up with other people. Go fast, go forward, be a person that goes ahead of someone else, and sometimes ride along with the flow of traffic. And don't try to be yourself because, as I said before to a lot of people, what good is getting to the top of the mountain? You don't have no one else there with you to enjoy that view.
Wow. That's deep, man, and so prophetic. You're right. A lot of times, these younger generation they're seeking that instant fame, and then when they get that instant fame, they don't know how to handle it. And this is a process. Even with what you and I do, there's a level of responsibility that we have to the people around us, our families, our friends, those that support us. And so, to me, every day, John, is about staying level set and trying to stay humble and let God move me. How about yourself? Do you find that sometimes you just have to kind of like, look, let me stay true to me and my family and understand where I am at this point?
Yep. And this album was that. I slowed down the flow of me releasing music because I said I need to come closer to me rather than being what the industry would want me to be, and that's to fit in with the sound of everyone else, the idea, the concept of everyone else. To sing about uh to sing about something that is not pure to my people and pure to my age demographic. And this is us is about us, my age demographic, and what we going through to raise our kids, to raise ourselves in a nation that is not is don't see us. They want
Hmm.
us. They want our entertainment. They want our money, but they don't want us as people.
What's next? I know you just finished the "This Is Us" CD, and so
Mhm.
what's next for the Saint?
Um, it would have been easier if we didn't have the pandemic happening. The next step for the saint is to keep preaching the sound of the saint, to 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 collaborate with more artists. I've been reaching out more than I ever did before with other contemporary jazz artists, even some soul artists, straight out jazz artists, singers. I feel that's the next step in my music is bring that feeling, that music that has a message and bring it to other people. And so we could just spread this thing like as though we're a satellite and bring this message out to everyone.
Absolutely. We got a special guest that just tuned in. John, if you can see Deborah is just saying hi to us online and everything. Great vocalist within herself, and I can see some collaborations between a lot of the guests now that are coming in.
Yeah,
Um, is that something that you're looking to do more of as well? Collaborate with vocalists and other artists?
exactly. That's my next step in my life musically because I have a message that in some ways requires a vocalist, a guitarist, an acoustic guitarist, a bassist, people that I feel that have that sound like as though they been on that instrument. They know how to play that instrument, and now it's time to put a message within inside of there that people can see. It's just not music. It's not just oh I'm dancing, but something to put up here.
Absolutely. And your management said also to produce music for other artists. So that's what managers do. They know the itinerary. It's your job to produce the music. Theirs is set up the itinerary, right?
Yeah, but I'm gonna tell you something else. That she's also known as Ike Turner. Should I say what that makes me?
Go
Okay,
ahead. Go ahead.
I ain't saying it, but Ike is being Ike. And but I love my manager. She know I love her. We started out in Harlem back in 1997, taking business classes, trying to work our way into entertainment. And since then, we have fought tooth and nail to get me to this point. And I thank her and I thank my fan base and every single radio station that's blessed us to be able to spread our word.
Go ahead and call your manager's name, man. Go ahead and give her a shout out.
I want to thank Ike Turner. No, not Ike Turner. I want to thank my manager, my wife, Carol Parker Morris, for being that wing that lifted me up higher and higher and getting this music out to everyone so they can hear the message in our music.
Absolutely, and I got to give her props, man. She is a workhorse. She gets us the music. Once you finish cranking it out, we
Mhm.
get that email, and then she's touching bases with everybody on social media. In fact,
Yeah, yeah.
um, same when I was loading and promoting, and I had my team promoting, I was tagging you, and you and I are in probably about 10 different smooth jazz groups. So that lets me know that the manager is on her job. She on her grind.
Yeah, there's no chill in her action. Mm. But
Absolutely.
yeah, but I mean, I just thank every day of having her around me musically. She approves the music. If she's not feeling it, it stays in this computer.
And we got to, and I would say this: if you have a partner, and your partner understands your business,
Yes.
and it makes life so much easier. And as Chrissy, one of my the regional executive for Cruise Inc. Texas. Her and her husband is an artist as well, and she just said, "Teamwork makes the dream work." And
Mhm.
of course, I couldn't do what I do unless I had a supportive spouse. And again, it's evident with what you are doing and many others. So again, man, I just thank you for being such an inspiration, being so supportive of Cruise Inc. Radio as well.
Always,
Yeah,
always, brother. Because you know what? I mean, like I said, from day one, you gave me that interview, and from that day on, you can tell when someone is being genuinely supportive or there for a business moment, and seeing that we're still sharing each other's content after all these years says that this is genuine.
absolutely. In fact, tonight at 7:30, from 7:30 to midnight, we're kicking off with Smooth Jazz Sundays, and you're going to be able to hear probably about at least five of the Saints' music in that 4.5 hour period. We're going to have Deborah and Paula Atherton and they call them Big City. A lot of artists that you probably collaborate with and talk with on a regular basis are going to be featured tonight. So again, this is on the radio. If you want to listen to it, it's www.cruiseinkradio.com. Man, I'm looking forward because, like I said, I know personally that five of your tracks are in there for this evening.
Well, I want to thank you, Cruz. And I'm always going to be respecting you, telling you to shine on because this all this is a struggle, but we do this all together to bring each other up and just get to the top of that mountain together.
Absolutely. And let me say this also, and I'm gonna put in a plug for both of us. People, you see the his site down there, and John, I don't know if you have anywhere where they can go and donate, because what we do as independent, you're an independent artist, we're an independent station, is we rely on the support of other people. A lot of times we work hard out of our own pocket and everything. So I want to say, everybody, go to johnthesaint.com and donate. And if you can donate, buy the music. That's a donation within itself. That helps support. Buy the music. John, tell some of the places where they can buy your music. I know that there are a lot of different places out here, but just run off some of the few that off the top of your head.
Well, right now, YouTube created YouTube Music. My music can be found on there. You can purchase it digitally. We have Tidal, the stream, Spotify, the stream. We have Apple Music. We have iTunes. We have Google Play. We have my website, like I mentioned before, and which is the only place you can buy the CDs for This Is Us for right now. And if you need it autographed, we'll autograph it. If you need $50,000 inside of it, I'm not that person that's going to give you $50,000. But no, less other than that, my music is available everywhere on Amazon. It's there waiting for you.
And I want to encourage everybody, go buy the CD, because it's a great CD. I've had a chance to I'll listen to some excerpts from it. Again, we played Jazz of the City, and I play that. When I'm getting ready to do this, that helps me, since you released it, kind of get my mindset. And again, Amazon out there for you. And if you like what we do here, John, I'm gonna give you the last say in here, some more shout outs, but uh, artists like John, uh, and I want to say uh, independent publishers like Iris and stations like Keith have. Again, we all have to operate on a streamlined budget. So we would greatly appreciate it if you buy our music, donate to our platforms if you want to help us continue to do what we do. I'm not ashamed to ask for money, because I see Roland Martin every day. He asks for, at least if he can get 1,000 of his folks to donate $50 for a year each year. So that's a lot of money, and we're just asking for you all to support us. I want to say this evening, again, John, it's always a pleasure, man. You're just so down to earth. The entire time I've known you, you've been the same, level headed, just down to earth, brother. I appreciate you, man. I really do.
Hey, genuine, genuine. That's what you got. I felt like I have to come to everyone. I have to be that same person that my mother raised. I think that's the difference. When people don't come correct, parents didn't probably raise them right.
You're
So
right,
I'm going to
man.
be the same thing that my music is: direct, straight to you, and make you feel comfortable.
But I want you to continue to come back, man, when you drop that next CD, that 11th, I mean that 12th project. We want to be the first to, not necessarily the first, but because we want to get that out there. But we want you to come back again and feel that this is your home, man. Anytime that you have a project going on and you need to get it out there to the public, you're welcome here, Cruising Radio 102.8.
Well, thank you, and we look forward to having Cruz on my next album when the album does come out. We got to have you introduce a certain section of our album.
Well, we would certainly, man, be very honored and humble to do that. And thank you so much. And I want
Mhm.
to say again, thank you to Ms. Carl Parker for being so industrious and getting the information out here, and making sure that, again, you shine, your company shines, and is one of integrity. And we appreciate you all allowing us to be a part of your journey.
No problem. Is it okay if I mention some people?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. This is the shout out time.
I'm gonna put it this way. When I came on the scene, smooth jazz scene, I was all about promoting people more than myself. Like I said, my mother raised me right. I listen to the music. The music comes first before self, wants. And I've seen through the time that it's not being shown back in return. And not only to me, but other artists. It's a battle. It feels like we're battling more than we're coming together. And people, we need to get that out of our systems as people and as an industry if we ever want to make it to, back on stage. Us as independent artists making it together to make this music legitimate, to put us out there to be accepted in festivals and anything else. Television. We need to think about television as well. Your music should not stay in one lane. Bring it out to many different sources. It's there for you as long as you can come together and don't fight each other. We come together, teamwork makes the dream work. I want to thank Brandon Rothwell for his support and how we share information with each other during last 2 or 3 years. Wonderful basis. Please keep your eye out for him. Wilfred Ninja Felix, wonderful guitars he travels with Ready for the World. I want to thank him for being a part of one of the songs on Come Get This Love that's off of the album. Renee Rajane, not Freeman. She's a single on Come Get This Love. She also had music on Low Down Dirty Shame, the movie from Keenan Ivory Wayans. I want to thank David Howard, wonderful guitarist that one day I'm going to be having his guitars on my next album. He's a wonderful guitarist. And I want to thank Keith Gilchrist and many of all the other radio stations. I have a lot more, but time is precious. And I know Crew's time is precious.
Man, don't worry about that. I appreciate it. And again, we were all put here for a purpose. And this hat that I'm saying is born for this. John, you were born for this and continue to do what you're doing. Iris, you were born for this. Deborah, Keith, and Chrissy, and Dove South, and all of the artists that we collaborate with. Just know that, again, you were there's Miss Renee Not Freeman that you just gave the shout out to. So thank you, Miss Freeman, Miss Not Freeman, for tuning in as well. So whatever you're doing in life, I want to say you were born to do, and that do it with as John and I do. We do it from the heart. We're not doing it for fame, fashion, or we like to get paid, but at the end of the day, it's our passion that drives us. So, John, man, it's been a pleasure having you on. I'm looking forward to having you again. And thank you so much. And as you tell me all the time, man, keep shining.
Shine on, live on, pray on, and let's get this on. People,
Absolutely.
Let's make it through this.
All right, we're gonna go back out again with one of my favorites from This Is Us, and that is Jazz in the City. All right, everybody, you have a good night. Don't forget to tune in at 7:30 tonight, cruisingradio.com for Smooth Jazz Sundays. You're going to hear 4.3 hours of the best music in the world, including this gentleman right here and many, many others. So